Good morning, sir. Very good morning, sir. We are happy to have this webinar, and we'll start the session
Morning.
with a formal welcome address by our student Harshita Purnima. Now, I request Harshita to take over the dais to deliver the welcome address. Harshita,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah, please.
Welcome the challenges. Look for the opportunities in every situation to learn and grow in wisdom. Very good morning to everyone present here. With warm greetings, it gives a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome on behalf of Department of Hospital Administration, Dr. NGP Arts and Science College for conducting webinar on opportunities in healthcare administration by Professor J. Rajashekar. Professor J. Rajashekar is the principal of College of Hospital Administration, Dr. Somawell Memorial CSI Medical College, Trivandrum, Kerala. Professor J. Rajashekar has got over 22 years of rich experience. Professor J. Rajashekar has worked as professor in charge in Grace Hospital, Kanyakumari district for 6 years. Tandai Hans Reever College, Perambalur for a year as head, Department of Hospital Administration. Dr. NGP Arts and Science College, Coimbatore for 2 years as Head Department of Hospital Administration. Vadamalayan Institute of Medical and Allied Health Science, Madurai for 4 years as Principal. Professor J. Rajashekar serves as a management consultant in various extreme hospitals, honorary professor in reputed institutions. Professor J. Rajashekar is in the Board of Studies and in the panel of university confidential work for many universities in South India. Professor J. Rajashekar has published many articles in the field of computer applications, office automation, operation research, and office management related to hospital management. Apart from this, Professor J. Rajashekar is the chairman of A&T Education, Medical and Social Development Trust. Through his trust, Professor J. Rajashekar is doing social service like conducting medical camps and education activities. Publics are enormously benefited through his trust activities. We once again welcome you, sir. We also
Thank you.
welcome, sir. We also welcome our beloved principal, Professor Dr. V. Rajendran, Head of Hospital Administration Department, Dr. V. Uma, and other colleagues for their continuous support. We also welcome the students for attending webinar of today's section. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Harshita, for
Thank
your
you.
warm welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, hereby I would like to tell that students from various background in Dr. NGP Arts and Science College, final year UG students are also joining. So I would like to thank all the students who are interested to participate in this webinar. Welcome you all on behalf of Hospital Administration Department. Hope this webinar will be helpful for you to know about what are the opportunities available in healthcare administration. It will be helpful to develop your career. So many students have been on joining. Welcome you all. Sir, thank you so much for spending a valuable time with us today. And we are very much eager to hear from you guys. So you can
Hello.
start.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, my dear friends. I was there at Dr. NGP Arts and Science College as HOD for 2 years. I hope I was the third HOD for the Department of Hospital Administration. At Health Symbiotes, the association formed by you. Actually, we did lot of things through the Health Symbiotes. During my tenure as HOD, our people, actually the students of hospital administration, uh, Mr. Phenomen Jai, Mrs. Vanita. Mrs. Vanita is the rank holder, university rank holder at that time. Uh, Mr. Tom. These people are organized a camp at government college, our Coimbatore Government Medical College. We went there for that obstetrics department. We cleaned the entire thing. You don't believe our people. They get down at that ditch and they clean that ditch. We cleaned everything over there. That was published in the newspaper at that time. Dr. NGP Arts and Science College students did all the things. That is through our health symbiotes, we did all the things, and we approached so many schools in and around our Kalapatti area. All those things I remembered. Once madam called me and asked me all those that once I watched the Delt Symbiotes, once I noticed the Delt Symbiotes, I remembered and recalled everything over there. Actually, Dr. NGP Arts and Science College, whatever the department, there we can learn a lot of things. As a professor, maybe I was selected by the chairman and madam, uh, but as a professor, I learned a lot of things from Dr. NGP. Even we gave a lot of things. The same manner, I learned a lot of things from Dr. NGP Arts and Science College. Even I implemented a lot of things through that model also. Because Dr. Muthuswamy, sir is guided us as a dean at that time. At that time, he guided us as a dean. We learned a lot of things from Dr. NGP, and this is my green memories, what I did at the NGP and the Arts and Science College. Through that, we can go to the topic opportunities in healthcare administration. Before we talked about that opportunities in healthcare administration, what is happening in India? What is happening in India? Actually, before 1990s, maybe I completed 1998 my MHM. During that time also, it's a dark period of hospital administration. Madurai Kamaraj University is the first university started this Master in Hospital Management course in South India in 1989. 1998 we completed the course. Till 2000 we don't have any scope. But after that we were in the health industry. We were talked about quality, healthcare quality. How it happened? Healthcare quality. Actually, that medical tourism. Because of this medical tourism, we got lot of opportunity here at India. How? We got the patients from foreign countries as a medical tourist, and we gave the treatment for them. Why the people are coming here for India? Because of two reasons. One is because most of you people are hospital administration people, and you know, because of two reasons. One of the reason is it's cost wise it's very less in India. Another thing, time consuming. That in England for a heart surgery you have to wait at least 2 months, 2 to 3 months. But in India that is not there. So because of these two reasons, the people are coming here. The medical tourists arrived here, and after that they are getting the treatment. After that they are getting the treatment. During the treatment, what they are telling is, in our Indian hospitals, sir, we are having the insurance cards. So at that time, during 1990s, 2000, we are not having that insurance tie-ups and all, because they are having the insurance card for their own countries. For example, US, they are having insurance card, but it is not possible for us to claim the insurance from US. What we did, we approached that insurance company. Sir, your patient came here and they got the treatment. The insurance company replied that whether you are having any accreditation. Accreditation in the sense, at that time only we are talking about accreditation. What is accreditation? Accreditation in the sense whether you are having JCI, Joint Commission International. Before that, JCA is termed as JCAHO, Joint Commission Accreditation for Healthcare Organizations. After that, it is called as JCI, because the people are moving from US to other foreign countries. So that we are talking about they changed as JCI. So they asked that insurance company is asked us. Insurance company is asked us whether you are having JC accreditation. And we are telling that no, we don't have JC accreditation. Then what we have to do? Our people, the senior people, that most leaders, most of the leaders in the industry, healthcare industry, they sit and they discuss what we have to do. After that only we came to the conclusion that we have to start that NABH, National Accreditation Board for Hospital, that is quality. So after that, some of the hospitals in India, they got JCE also. Even in Tamil Nadu, very few hospitals got JCE accreditation. So after that JCE accreditation, we can get the patients, we can claim for the patient with the insurance company. So what is maybe you can ask that, sir, what is the reason why you are telling this story? Actually, the thing is, two things are there. One is because of this thing, the employment opportunity is rising. Why? How? One is you are having the opportunity in medical tourism. That is medical tourism. It's related with your marketing, everything. Then second thing, you are having the opportunity in quality. Till 1990s, maybe till 2003, we are not talking about that quality much. After that, only that quality introduced, the quality came into the industry, and we are talking about the quality. NABA, JCI, everything. Now, quality gave lot of opportunities for you. And after that, the insurance. You may wonder that in CMCHS, in Tamil Nadu, Chief Minister Comprehensive Scheme, that is for the below poverty line people. Most of the people are engineering graduates. As a coordinator, license officer, they are engineering graduates. Why not you? You are having the qualification. Why not you? So this is the reason how our industry boomed up in India. But now the situation, what is happening in India, not only in India, and all over the world, what is happening? COVID. Because of this COVID, the reason thing is ILO has released its report. What will happen in that COVID? What will happen? Job losses escalate. Nearly half of the global workforce at risk of losing their jobs. This is ILO report, International Labour Organization report. I'll explain my PowerPoint in three folds. One is what is happening in the whole world, what is happening in the healthcare industry, and what is the opportunities for you. What are the opportunities you are having? The second thing is young workers will be hit hard. Young workers in the sense maybe the freshers, graduates like you. And third point is the COVID-19 pandemic is having the catastrophic effect on the working hours and the earnings globally. You should not fix your working hours. I have to come only for 9 to 6. That boundary should not be there. Then the crisis is expected to wipe out 6.7% of working hours globally in the second quarter of 2020. Maybe 2020 second quarter, wipe out 6.7% of the working hours, equivalent to 195 million full-time workers. So large reductions are foreseen at Arab states, Europe, and Asia and Pacific. Asia, we are in Asia. The next slide, what is showing that what all the industries are there in very low impact and what all the industries are having high impact. Very low impact in the sense maybe our education industry is having very low impact, but high impact we are talking about hotel industry and everything we are having high impact. Then next slide, what about our GDP? GDP, because of this COVID-19, what about our GDP? If you see that our airlines, our auto and advanced industries, our textiles, these are all the industries are having very bad impact because of this COVID. What is it? India's passed out students numbers in India, like you, because these are all the impact what is going on. And what is the passed out students? 64.7 lakh students passed out of undergraduate courses and 15 lakh in postgraduate students. Every year, 10 to 14 lakh engineering graduates are coming up. Every year. It is about that whole India. And what are the hypothesis? What is going on based upon that ILO report? What is the hypothesis there? Full-time job will reduce and gig economy will see mainstreaming adoption. Maybe that part-time work will be in future. The part-time work may be high. So that I am termed as hypothesis. Maybe it may be true. Remote and digital working will become the new norm. That is true. Actually, remote and digital working, what we are doing now, I'm in Kerala, I'm in, you people are in Tamil Nadu, we are talking. Then salaries will become unfixed. It is not possible to fix the salary. And value perception will increase. New jobs of different kinds will be created. New jobs in the sense, today the jobs CEO, that will be eradicated. What they will create it as some creativity job. And Asian economies outside China will see increase in manufacturing jobs. Outside China, it will increase manufacturing jobs. Fitment will overrule qualifications. Whether you are fit for the job. My kind advice for you people is, because you are young graduates and you are hit hard in this situation, in this time. So my kind advice, not only MHM or MHA or MBA hospital management, you can learn something extra. I am expert in quality. I know all the chapters of NABH. I know how to market a dental center. I know how to market a neuro center. That extra things you have to learn. This 2 years or this 3 years, undergraduate this 3 years and postgraduate 2 years. This is the time for you to learn a lot of things, because industry is expecting lot from you, and they are ready to pay for that also. Fresh graduates should be expected to learn by themselves and come prepared, because this is the time you have to learn. For computer and other those things, computer or your mobile phone, you people are using for some other game or something else. You have to use this mobile phone for searching the things. What are the NABH accredited hospital? At least in Coimbatore, how many neurologists are there? How many nephrologists are there? Not only Coimbatore, maybe you may from Kerala, you may from some other area, maybe Madurai or Chennai. You should know where you are going to work. You should know about your industry, how it is going on there. How many cardiologists are there? How many neurologists are there? How many hospitals are there? You have to develop your database. Then people will not leave hope and continue trying new ventures. It will lead for new ventures also. Then next thing, what is going on in worldwide in healthcare? What is going on? It may wonder to see that in England, that National Trust Hospital, those hospitals, hospital trust, the deficit, financial deficit at the end of 2018-19 was 5 pound billions, 5 billion pounds, compared to 4.3 pound billions in 17-19. It is actually before that COVID and all. Now it will be very worst. Then China medical insurance funds expenditure growth exceeded income growth in 2018, burdened by the country's slowing economy and increasing elderly population. Elderly population is much more increased in China as well as in India also. And 12% of hospitals in Germany are in the financial distress. The average profit margin in 2017 for top clinical hospitals in the Netherlands was a thin 1.8, and about half of them have been recently or are in the process of major cost transformations. These strugglings are there in the worldwide, and in US, healthcare provider with the current 3% margin that does not act will likely to see margin degradation of 6% to the negative operating margin of 3.5% by 2023, based on the accurate analysis and market trends. This is happening in worldwide. So, what is the advice we are getting from all these facts? We have to upgrade ourselves. Competition is very high, but at the same time, you have to equip yourself. You have to have some extracurricular things. What is the universal health coverage? This is the positive things what is happening in worldwide. Indonesia, they are having JKN program. Now covers 76% of the population and the largest single payer scheme in the world. But the world largest government funded healthcare program is our Indian program, that is National Health Protection Scheme. Even it is expected to implement the program despite of funding pressures. We are having some funding pressures in India, but we are implementing. Over 99% of Thailand's population receive free health under the country's universal health coverage program. In Philippines, the government is targeting 100% enrollment in PhilHealth. These are all the positive things what is going on, because health for all, not for a single person, health for all. For that, So many countries they are doing the activities. Even we are proud that our India is also doing the things. What is going on and what are the challenges we are having in 2020? Financial challenges what we are having. Health systems are working to achieve financial sustainability by reducing the cost to deliver and finance high quality and effective care of patients. We have to reduce the cost. For productivity, what we need, either we have to reduce the cost, otherwise we have to increase the profit. Then only we have to get the productivity. So the profit is the constant one in the sense what we have to do, we have to make the cost as a flexible, that we have to reduce the cost. So financial operations, we have to reduce the cost. That is the need of our activity for finance area. Then second thing, our strategic, that is care model innovations. New strategies, capabilities, and technologies are shifting health systems focus from providing episodic acute care to keeping people healthy. Simply, we can say everything is digitalized. That healthcare technologies, we are going to adopt the strategies, capabilities, go for keeping healthy for the acute care. We have to go for the doorstep of the people. That care model we have to make. Care model we have to innovate. For each and everything, care model we have to innovate. We have to go like that. And digital transformation and interoperability, that is exponential advances. Every day we are having so many apps for healthcare. Every day we are having digital technologies. The people who are having the additional knowledge of computers, particularly program making apps, you are having much opportunity in healthcare administration. So that digital transformation is going on, and you just prepare for that. And future of work, an aging population and shortage of clinical skilled clinicians. Recently, Russia's president Putin gave an interview for the press people. The press people asked Putin why you have to give the vaccine for teachers and medical professions first. He replied that for making a person as a healthcare professional, it will take 30 years. For 30 years, teachers are working for that. So I have to safeguard the teachers. And healthcare professionals, already we are having the shortage of healthcare professionals. So we have to safeguard them. On healthcare professional, we are losing in the sense, we are losing many things in the world, in our nation. So that I have to safeguard the healthcare professional. So that I ordered to give the vaccine first for teachers and healthcare professionals. So that is a thing. Healthcare professionals, we have to safeguard that future of work, because senior people are working now, because we are having the shortage. So that future of work, we have to plan accordingly. The country like India, if you take that public health, we don't have any policy. We don't have any proper registry for so many diseases. It's not possible for our even our health ministry, central health ministry, to respond what is the number of hepatitis B we are having in India, because there is no any registry. So you have to work for the future of work. But we are having the registry for COVID. We don't have the registry for hepatitis. This is happening. So we have to work for that future. Aging population is high, and the shortage of skilled clinicians, changing a future of work. So you have to go for that future of work. And 4 key building blocks and 9 critical success factors enabling PHM. That is, PHM is population health management. For population health management, what are the 4 building blocks? One is infrastructure, another one is insight, third one is interventions, fourth one is impact. So in those things, what are the 9 critical success factors? In infrastructures, you should have a vision, mission, and understand of journey. We have to create our vision, mission, and we have to share it. Suppose I am going to work at Dr. KMCH hospital, in the sense, I have to take care of that vision of that chairman. I have to share that vision. I have to work for that vision. I have to go. How I have to work for the vision? Through mission. I have to work for the vision. So that by that way we have to improve. Then Improved shared technology and digital infrastructure. I already explained that, because in future we are going for technology and digital infrastructures. Then leadership maturity and good governance. Leadership is very important to move towards that. We have to uh, we have to get the work from the people, and we have to move for the next thing, that is insight. Infrastructure is the bottom. Next we have to go for insight. Focus population targeting and segmentation. We have to segment the people. Who are all the affected people? Who are all the people need that treatment? Who are all the creamy layer people? Like that, we have to focus on the population, and robust monitoring and advanced analytics and insight process. That healthcare analytics, that is big data. Already I told you that data is very important. Database is very important. Big data, because our artificial intelligence, everything is developed because of this big data and your healthcare analytics, data analytics. And after that, we have to go for interventions. Insight. First, we have to develop our infrastructure, and we have to go for that. What is the insight? What is going on in our society? Then we have to go for the intervention. How we are going to reach them? Aligned incentives across the system, delivery of primary care at scale, new approaches to delivery and workflow. What is going on for COVID? Each and every doorstep they are going, and they are taking the swab, and they are going to test that primary care at scale, delivery of primary. We have to go for primary health centers. Through the primary health centers, we have to approach lot of people. Then aligned incentives across the system. Incentives, what is going on across the system. New approaches to deliver and workflow. We have to go for a new approaches. What is the impact? Last one, what is the impact? Everybody need a good impact, positive impact, population engagement and patient activation. That is the impact what we expected. These are all the 9 critical success factors what we have to focus. And in 2020, what will happen? After 2020, what will happen? Burnout and decreased productivity, major factors to physician attrition. For the physician attrition, because as a hospital administrator, hospital managers, we have to focus upon the physicians, because they are the core people here. For every 1 hour spent with patients, nearly 2 hours spent on documentation. Physicians. This is the reason for the burnout. 80% of the physicians are a capacity to overextend. 78% of the physicians sometimes, often, or always experience feeling of burnout. 78%. It's not very less. And if you take the 1950s, the knowledge is doubled in 50 years. In 2020, now the knowledge is doubling just 73 days. What is the meaning? We have to update ourselves. Every day the situation is changed. What is the physician architects of the future? Patient. Now we have to approach the street corner doctor. That is our nearby doctor. We have to approach, and we have to go. In future, what it will be? Patient. We have to approach the complex care manager and integrator. Then we have to approach the digital consultant, analytics consultant, proceduralist. Then we have to go for the data and informatics specialist, researcher, then educator. That is the medical college professor. Like that it will go. What is the meaning behind that? Every doctor should have the knowledge of management. Every doctor should have the knowledge of information technology, so that the industry will change like this. So we have to improve the knowledge of all the information technology and all those things. Based on that, I have to ask 3 questions with you people. How can our organization deliver cost-effective, high-quality, high health care today and prepare for the future? Because this is very important for you people, because you are the future administrators, budding administrators, what you are going to do. So what is the future? How do you prepare yourself? Prepare your organization to deliver cost-effective, high-quality healthcare. What will be your answers? Your action for your question: leveraging their data assets and conducting sophisticated data analytics. You have to do for the data analytics. Then incorporating automated system. Everything should be automated. In China, on hospital, that robot is used for replacing the receptionist. That robot is giving the answers for the enquiries in 64 languages. Like that, that automated system you have to develop. You have to develop some apps, building new revenue streams. New revenue stream in the sense, because of COVID-19, some of the hospitals they are developing that you can take the treatment from your home. The package rate is 30,500 rupees. Our doctors will come by through screen. That kit, that medical kit will be provided you in your doorsteps. Like that, that some new revenue streams they develop. Hiring talent from other industries, not only healthcare industry. We have to get the people from automobile industry to use that for IT industries, information technology industry, for use them for our benefit, for our healthcare industry benefit. Then readiness to work with new partners. We have to readiness to work with the new partners because the ego, so many things are there. As a human, we are the only people in the resource, only resource which control all other resources, because men, money, machine, material, method, these five are very important in any management. Among these five, human is the only person is allied. Question number 2: how can we strengthen consumer engagement, improve the patient experience, and optimize where and how healthcare is delivered? How do you strengthen the customer engagement? We are talking about the customer experience. So what is your action for that? Integrated customer experience strategy, remove operational barriers. Customer experience strategy you have to fix. This is the experience customer should get. Based on that, you have to develop your physical infrastructure and everything. Remove operational barriers. What are the operational barriers you are having? You just remove all the things. Barriers in the sense, sometimes your staff member won't come for the replacement or duty change, they won't come. For those operational barriers, you have to fix, you have to make the change. Without any disturbance, it should go. Support the cultural shift from compared to 1990s to 2020. Some shift is there in the cultural wise. Even in hospital infrastructure wise, so many changes are there. So we have to go for that cultural shift. In Manipal Hospital, Bangalore, we are noticing that that executive shoot, everything is there. That entire hospital room, that patient room is having all the facility. It's like their office. Like that, they are developing the wards. They are developing the hospital. That is the cultural shift. Reimagine leadership capabilities. You have to go for leadership capabilities. Always we are talking about autocratic, bureaucratic, like that we are talking. But we have to go for some other capabilities. We have to develop the capabilities to control your organization. Then link digital offerings. So you have to link the digital offerings. You are getting the treatment in the sense you have to register in our doctor's consultation in the sense you have to get these are all the benefits you are having. Like that, we have to go for the digital offerings because we have to improve, we have to go further. What will be our question 3? How well prepared is our healthcare system to undertake digital transformation? What needs to happen to equip our clinical workforce and patients to embrace technology enabled care? Two things are very important. We have to shift for the digital transformation. Same time, we have to motivate, we have to equip our patients as well as our staff members for technology. For that, what will be your answer? Create a robust IT infrastructure for data storage, access to health data, and information sharing. This is very important because nowadays healthcare data are stolen by others. So for that, we have to have a secured data storage system. We are having the health data and information sharing also. We have to be very careful. Implement accessible electronic healthcare records and invest the basic technologies needed for transformation. Basically, we have to go for first thing in any organization is in any healthcare organization is go for health records. It should be electronic. and address the challenge of interoperability. We, operability because we have to uh, what are all the problems we are facing, what are all the things we are what are the challenges we are facing. For that we have to give the solution, but for that we have to address that particular problem. Establish a governance framework to support a culture of digital transformation. That is exactly for that only we have to make a governance framework. We have to make a committee. We have to make a people to work on that. Like that, we have to go for digital transformation. Develop digital leadership skills and improve the digital literacy. Directly, we are doing some leadership activity in the sense that is different, but indirectly, we are doing in the sense that is also different. So, develop digital leadership skills and improve digital literacy. That is very important because digital leadership skill you are going to play by using the numbers. Then break down concrete barriers. No, these are all the barriers we are having. It is not possible to break down. You have to break down the concrete barriers, and you have to move towards, move further, move forward. Then remove the 9 to 5 boundaries. What is the 9 to 5 boundaries? As I already told you, I'll work only for 9 to 5. That is not possible. Whenever technology will be there, you are for 24 hours because we in healthcare field we have to work for 24 hours because mobile is there, your computer is there, technology is there. You have to all because all for all these things. What is needed? Train the people. Train for success. In lot of hospitals in England, they are having the manual for their workers, manual for their patients also, patient visitors also. They are having some manual. This is the procedure, this is the protocol. Through that only we have to approach. Like that, we have to motivate our people. So, as a manager in 2020, what all the things are in your hand? First thing is a customer centered future of health. That is very important. Anyway, the health is customer centered, but we have to focus the customer center. Everything is born from the experience of the patient. What we are doing in the hospital, by the experience of the patient, we are doing the modification. So this our healthcare should be customer centered. Then shaping the physician of the future without burnout, without any disturbance, we have to shape the physician because they are the core people for the healthcare. Closing the digital gap, shaping the future of healthcare. Maybe we have to make the standardization. Whatever we are sending from here, maybe in US, it is not possible to open that file. That should not be there. You have to closing the digital gap. Gap. Smart health communities and future of health. We have to develop the health communities, smart health communities, because every week we have to give some awareness talk. Every week we have to talk about some disease. Like our doctors, they are doing that continuous medical education. We have to go for smart healthcare communities. Then the transition to integrated care. We have to go for the integrated care. The future of health is how innovation will blur traditional care boundaries. The future of health, the innovation will be blur traditional health care boundaries. We should not tell that traditional healthcare should not be needed. It is needed. Actually, we will mix the traditional healthcare plus our modern healthcare technologies. Make it as the future of health. So these are all the things. Uh, in all the things are in your hand. Then now we have to go for the third fold of your thing, that is your career. How you have to go for the career? What is the role in the hospitals? You are having the interpersonal roles. Interpersonal role in the sense figurehead, leader, license. These are all the interpersonal roles what you are going to do in the hospital. What are the informational roles? Monitor, disseminator, your spokesperson. These are all the informational roles. What is the decisional roles? Entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, negotiator. These are all the decisional roles what you are having. Because here, which is the thing you are having, you have to select. I'm a leader, I'm a license officer, I'm a spokesperson, I'm an entrepreneur. For that, you have to develop. You should have the skills. If you want to be a leader, you have to develop your interpersonal skills. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to develop your decisional roles. So these are all the things are needed for you. With that, where you are going to work. There are three type of organizations. One is delivery organization, direct support organization, indirect support organization. Delivery organization, first one is hospitals, second one is physician group practice, third one is long-term care, fourth one is government qualified health centers, fifth one is public health, sixth one is mental health, because in future mental health problem will be rising. So next one is military health and veteran administrator, then correctional health. These are all the delivery organization for the acute care. What we are telling that primary, secondary, tertiary care centers. These are all the delivery centers. Additionally, we are having the military health centers, government, central government centers. You may read in your book the classification of hospitals like that. Then direct support organizations, health insurance, health information technology, consulting firms. I'm the healthcare management consultant. That consulting firms, pharmaceutical manufacturing and sales, durable medical equipment, biotechnology firms. Indirect support organization, regulatory agencies, universities in the sense for the education thing, then education search firms, then research and development, then healthcare associations. These are all the organizations you can work. Then what is the next one? For working in this organization, I'm having the skills. I'm having the skills and I'm ready to working in the organizations. I'm ready to work in the following organizations in the sense what you have to go, what you have to do. Preparation and professionalism. Well, how do you prepare for that? First one is you have to mold your attitude. Maybe your attitude may be, no, I'm such kind of person. I won't change myself. That is not at all accepted. Whenever you are entering in any organization, not only in hospital, the attitude you have to mold according to the organization's requirement. So you have to go for that attitude. You are in healthcare industry, your attitude always should be having sympathy. You have to approach any people in a soft manner. Like that you have to go. Then continuous learning. As I told you, the knowledge of medical things, healthcare things, it will be doubled in. Earlier it is 50 years. Now it is 73 days, 73 hours. Like that it is going on. So continuous learning should be needed. So you have to learn a lot of things. No, my area is materials management. So you have to learn how we have to automate that particular materials management department. So then we have to go for credibility. I am a truthful person. For that you have to develop yourself. Then engagement. You have to engage yourself in the whole activity. Then leadership. You have to lead the entire things. Then mentor. I am the mentor because when I was there, I'm proudly saying that when I was there in Vadamalayan Hospital, I'm the mentor for introducing so many courses in the college, short-term courses. So that is mentor. I have to develop this thing. They should not forget you. I am the mentor of that particular thing. Be a mentor. Initially, it may be you may feel some struggle, but after that you have to. Whenever you will be the mentor, then only you will get the opportunity. Then networking. This is also very important for your professionalism. You have to build a network. Public relation is very much important in this our healthcare area. Then professionalism. Networking in the sense I can talk with all the people, but with the professional skills. I am the administrator, I am the COO, I am the CEO, so I have to behave like this. Then risk taking. I have to take the risk. The marketing people are not there. You just give me the task, I can finish that. You just take me, I'll finish that. Whenever you will finish the task, at that time only the people will recognize you as a leader. We should not say that no, this is the responsibility of the marketing manager. But manager is come under you as a CEO or COO. Marketing manager is come under you. So your chairman will ask in the sense, what will be your answer? You are responsible for the chairman. Then self-awareness. We have to aware ourselves. What is going on there? Then teamwork and team performance. We have to prepare our team, and team performance should be very high. And serving others, we have to serve others. Whatever we learn, we have to teach others. We have to tell with our friends. We have to discuss with our friends. At that time, you may get more knowledge. So, with this preparation and professionalism, I opted my skill. I opted my organization. I opted. I am having all this professionalism skills. With that, I have to work. What are the works are available in front of you? The acute care hospital. I'm talking about that topmost jobs. Acute care hospital. Chief compliance officer. This is very much important. Compliance officer is the responsible for without any struggling the organization has to run. So compliance officer role is very much important. Then chief executive officer, I have to execute the things. Nowadays, operational everything, operations manager, everything, the reception manager, operations manager, those people are come under this chief executive officer. Then chief financial officer, chief information officer, chief learning officer. Learning in the sense you have to teach the people that medical education you have to make. Chief medical information officer, chief medical officer, chief nursing officer, chief operating officer, chief patient experience officer. Now I'm having one question with you people. With all these things, whether you are qualified to become for this chief compliance officer, executive officer, financial officer, information officer, only with MHM or MHA or MBA hospital administration, is it possible for you to reach this level? I can say it is not possible. When it is possible, you have to improve your skills in legal aspects of healthcare, so you can become the chief compliance officer. Then, whenever you are improving your operation skills, then only you have to go for executive. Finance. Basically, I am a MCOM graduate or BCom graduate. I am good knowledge. After I am opting that MHA or MHM, I am having the good knowledge in finance. So after that, first thing is, whenever you are having the objective, you have to take it as a passion. Finance is my passion area. I have to work for that. Then information, you are having the IT background. You should have some IT background. Learning officer, you have some educational background. Medical information, you have to collect the data. Journalism, everything you should learn. Medical journalism, you have to learn. After that, only you have to collect the data. Then medical officer, you should have at least MBBS. Nursing officer, MSc nursing. Chief operating officer, I am good in marketing, I am good in operations, I am good in materials management, I am good in HR, will become the operating officer. Chief patient experience officer, I know about the psychology of patient psychology I know. So through that, chief quality officer, chief technology officer, chief clinical department manager, community resource advisor. Community resource advisor in the sense little bit it is related with your marketing area. Director of business development, again it is related with marketing. Director of development, director of emergency services, director of environmental services. Environmental in the sense your pollution control board and all you have to reach. For that, this director of environmental services will give the guidelines for you how we have to make the things. Director of food and nutrition, director of grants and contracts. So many hospitals nowadays they are having trust. So for the running of trust, they should know how it is working. They have to develop that trust from the foreign countries, develop the grants from the foreign countries to run the trust. So then director of human resources, director of marketing, director of materials manager, director of medical records, director of patients accounts, director of physician relations, director of social services, foundation executive director, medical staff coordinator, volunteers service coordinator. Human resource simply says that I have to manage the human resource. It is not possible. It's not an easy job. You should know what are the legal aspects related with human resource. What is PF, Provident Fund? What is who are all the people you are going to manage in your human resource department? Between R and R, recruitment to retirement, we have to manage the people. So in between, lot of things are there because nowadays PF, Employee Provident Fund, your pension, gratuity, all those things you should know. What is the norms fixed, even bonus sometimes. All those things you should know. Then only you have to improve your human resource skills. Then marketing. Marketing also it's not very easy thing. As I told you earlier, you have to know who are all providing their service around you. You should know how many patients we are getting in our hospital, how many patients they are getting. You just compare. And suppose they are getting more patients in the sense how we have to improve ourselves, we have to learn, we have to study. And those things we have to do in the marketing area. Then materials management, not only ABC analysis. Nowadays ABC analysis is very easy. But how we have to cut down the cost because cutting the cost is a major thing nowadays. 2020, the major challenge is how do we cut the cost. Materials management is the area we have to cut the cost. We have to read how we have to cut the cost. We have to use the JIT, just in time materials management system. Just in time in the sense how we have to implement. All those things we have to make. Then medical records, director of medical records. Medical records, we should know what is medical record and we should know what is ICD coding, International Codification of Diseases, and we have to improve in that area. And additionally, you should have medical records degree. The director of patient accounts. Accounts again, you have to knowledge of patient thing. Account BCom, MCom, or commerce. Then physician relations, director of physician relations. Again, we have to improve our service providing things. We have to improve the physician relations. It's related with marketing. Director of social services. Social services in the sense, for example, in Vadamalayan Hospital, during the Vadamalayan Institute of Paramedical Sciences, we have started. At that time, what my chairman's advice is, Vadamalayan chairman's advice, you have to do something for the society because we are having a very long journey in Madurai. That's the oldest hospital in Madurai. So you have to do something for society. Same time, we have to give the information to the society about our education system. He asked me to develop a program. I developed one program that Indru Oru Gramam. Indru Oru Gramam in the sense in Madurai around, particularly Usulameti around, female infanticide is very high. For that, we made an awareness program. For 30 days in Madurai district, around 30-kilometer area, we have to select at 30 villages. Each and every day, we have to go to the village. We have to talk about that evil of that female infanticide, how they have to improve their cleanliness, how they have to safeguard their female kids. Like that, we have to develop some program. Based on that, we give prizes for the people in the village. For that, it reached very high level in that particular time. So for that social services, we need some director. That is director of social services. Then foundation executive director. Foundation in the sense again it's a trust. Trust or your foundation activities. Medical staff coordinator. Again, it is related to HR. volunteer services coordinator, administrator. Administrator is the term, normally it is the Indian term we are using in India. Administrator is the topmost like that in most of the hospitals, because in the practicing management we are doing like that. Then associate administrator, chief information officer, utilization and case management director, director of clinical operations, director of finance, human resource specialist, physician compliance director, quality risk management director. Again, by career in long-term care, administrator, director of nursing, home health agency director, marketing specialist, regional director of operations. Maybe the home health, we have to organize the people. Home health, we have to safeguard our team also, medical team also, as well as we have to give the treatment for the patient. So we have to be very careful. The director is having the enormous role. He has to safeguard both the people, patient as well as the people who we are all sending to the care for the patient, the nurses or the doctors. Then commercial healthcare insurance, claims representative, group enrollment representative, provider contractor, risk manager. Here in India, Tamil Nadu, we are having insurance. Once our people reach the top, insurance and all, they develop the things. Nowadays, insurance, even so many people are there. Everything. What my suggestion is, you have to learn the thing. I want to become the insurance expert in the sense you have to work on them. You have to learn the things. Then only you will become the expert in the healthcare insurance. In the public healthcare organizations, country health department administrator, deputy health system administrator, this is Indian healthcare system, emergency management coordinator, veterans administrator. These two things, that is veterans administrator, administration health system, and program analysis. This is purely military based. They are having some program. They are having this hospital management program. So based on that, they will select. Remaining things, most of us know that. Then in consulting firms, business solution advisor, senior health analytics, healthcare consultant, research analyst. Nowadays, we are using the consultant here in India using for marketing. So everything you have to learn. When you will be the consultant, when you will be the advisor, whenever you are working in the industry for 10 years, at least more than 10 years, then only you will become the consultant. And you have to work in a big organization, not a small one. Big organization only give the guidelines, give the instructions, give the feedback. It will teach you how we have to work in the organizations. Career in the health information technology, director of health information technology, director of education training, electronics medical records director, health information management coder, health information management exchange specialist, information technology auditor, knowledge management specialist, project manager. These are all the jobs available in health informatics. And durable medical equipments, customer service manager, accounts manager, regional sales manager, sales representative, pharmaceutical, accounts manager, associate program manager, compliance specialist, manager quality control, sales representative. Career in international health. I'm talking that they're talking about the medical tourism. Program officer, project coordinator, global service quality manager. Then career in health sector, association management, government affairs. We have to need people for making any government related things. We have to do in the sense we need people for government affairs. Director marketing and communications, president and executive officer, membership manager. These are all the association managers. Then central state government, area director, this is also Indian Health Services, data analyst, deputy director, health program director, local health department consultant, public health analysis. These are all the careers available, because normally our Indian healthcare system, we are targeting about the public healthcare system. Because in India, 80 more than 80% of the healthcare sector is in the private hand. Only 15% in the government's hand. There too, they are targeting upon the public health only. Then regulatory agencies, here what are the regulatory agencies? NABH is one of the regulatory agency, National Aggregation Board for Healthcare Organization. So Assistant Director Product Development, Associate Director Business Development, Director Surveyor Management, Surveyor Marketing Operations Specialist. And executive search firms, Research Associate Project Coordinator, Recruiting Manager, Vice President of Talent Acquisition, Mental Health Organization. These are all the people, they are going to search the human resource for the organization. Inpatient behavioral science, outpatients, primary care, uh, practice supervisor. These are all the careers are available for executive search firms. These are all the major 101 titles are available for you around the world. Uh, the thing is on your hand. You have to fix your area. It is not possible to concentrate in all the areas. My area is marketing. You have to fix your area, work on that. Because as far my knowledge, because I'm having uh, 23 years experience in healthcare management, and I'm working so many organizations. As per my knowledge, Dr. NGP Arts and Science College, you are having a uh, they are providing a good platform for you, and you are having a very nice library, and the management is ready to help you at any time. They are giving books, they are organizing people, they are having very good faculty members, and that is a very nice college in my opinion to carry on your maybe the undergraduate people. You can go for the post graduation, and the only one thing is faculty may guide you. The thing is on your hand. You have to fix your vision, you have to fix your mission. So the thing is, fix your vision, mission, then your objectives, break down into policies, procedures, your own private policies and procedures, work on that. And NGP is a good college for the hospital administration, because I hope with very short duration time, not very short time duration, we compare Madurai Kamaraj University and other universities. NGP is having maybe more than 15 years. I hope nearly 15 years. The hospital management department is there at the NGP for nearly 15 years. I hope. In those 15 years, they are doing lot of things. Earlier, I hope nowadays also, you people are getting university rank. But the thing is, you are having the much scope to work, to learn. Because in KMCH hospital, you can learn lot of things. I know about the people from Madurai Kamaraj University. They are asking us, sir, we have to go for KMCH to learn the things. But that is your parent organization. You can learn lot of things from KMCH. You have to know lot of things. Your area is marketing in the sense, you just go to the marketing department, you have to learn lot of things. You have to read lot of things. You have to read the people. You have to read the society. You have to read the industry. You have to read the market. Only uh, responsibility for you to sit in the organization and we have to watching, that is not there. The internet is in your hand. You just go through that internet. What all the hospitals are there? What are all the physicians are there around your organization? What are their specialities? You have to do all the work, and you have to work accordingly. Then only you have to improve your skill. So now I'm talking about marketing as example. Like that, you have to work, and you are in a very good college, and maybe undergraduation people you may get good salary. After your undergraduation, you may go for work in the sense you can go. But my advice is you have to do any hospital administration program in a regular mode. Even the PG program also go by regular, not by correspondence course. Regular in the sense you have to learn lot. And those who are all going to finish your PG program, at least now you have to fix your area. And in that area you have to work, you have to do lot of things with the permission of your HOD and your principal. You have to get the permission from your parent hospital. Now you just go and watch what is happening. After that, if your parent hospital is permitting, you just join there. Otherwise, you have to opt some other hospitals to join. This is a nice course, nice area. When we completed 1998, we feel that we are doing the mistake. But I opted this course, as Robert Frost said, the road not taken. But I reached my goal. So the thing is like that. You have to specialize yourself in a different manner. I wrote 15 articles in Tamil in Dinamani, in Talangam page. Talangam is it is very difficult to write the article in Talangam. In Dinamani in Tamil, in the sense, it is very familiar page. I wrote 15 articles because I specialized myself. I have to write in my Tamil. I specialize myself. I am good in OR, operation research. Like that, you have to specialize. I am good in teaching. Like that, you feel in the sense you have to work at least 2 years in the hospital like AMCH. After that, you just come for teaching because these 2 years you have to learn what are the systems are there in the hospital, how the people are doing the work. So, with this knowledge, you have to opt a career and how to become a leader. Improve your emotional intelligence. Think big picture in terms of systems. So that I told you, just opt the organization like KMC. It's big organization, not small one. You have to take the big picture. Then only you will get the experience. Improve your emotional intelligence in the sense your boss will call you and he will give you some work. Your subordinate will tell that, sir, it is not possible for me to finish. Some problem is there. Here you have to maintain your emotional intelligence. Improve your conversational skills. You have to talk. Many people are asking, sir, it is not possible for me to talk in English. In my opinion, two things are very important in healthcare management. One is your intellectual, that is, I am very good in my subject. Second thing is your conversational skill, your language. You have to use English as a language. At least you have to improve, no other way. If you are having these two skills, your intellectual skill and your conversational skill, you can fix your salary. Either one you are having in the sense, time is there to fix the salary. Both the skills I am not having in the sense, you are unfit. This is the time for you to develop this type of skills, conversational skills and your intellectual skills. Then embrace change management. Every day changes are there. You have to embrace it and adapts to chaos and complexity. Everyday complexity will be there. Competitions are very severe. When we finished our MHM degree, at that time only 18 people are there. Now Kerala is having so many institutions. In our Kerala Health University, we are having 4 institutions, and every year the output is nearly 100. If you take Tamil Nadu, most of the universities are offering these courses, and Tamil Nadu also a lot of people are coming out. The competition is very severe. So that I'm stressing you, you have to fix your area. You have to specialize your area. I am good in that particular area. You can ask the questions. I can answer for that. Like that, you have to prepare for that. So to be a leader, to adapt that thing, and you have to fix yourself. Lot of in your clock, lot of things are there. You have to fix whether you are a small person or a big person, a small area or big area. You have to fix, but you are very important because here everybody are talent. They can say that you everybody are talent, and we have to fix in that particular area, and you have to fix as a you are a leader. You have to become a leader. You have to rule that particular thing. You have to make yourself for a specialized area. You have to develop, and I know that NGP is the good college. NGP is having a uh, NGP is providing a good platform for that. Uh, all the very best for your future. UG people, you just go for your PG. PG people, just go and opt the hospitals like KMCH. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Any doubts you are having in the sense, you can ask it.
So really, it was a very useful session. You have given elaborate information about the scope of the healthcare administration. Now, question. Students, if you have any doubts or questions, you can ask her now. Students, if you have any doubts, you can ask about the opportunities in healthcare.
You can ask in any language, no problem.
Come forward.
தமிழ்ல பேசுறது வந்து தப்பு இல்ல. தமிழ்ல இருந்தாலும் கேள்வியை கேளுங்க. ஏன்னா சபையில மோயிலும் மேல ஏறி நிக்கிறது தான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம்.
Sir, it's good, sir. Classes are good, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Joel, sir.
Yes, Joel. Tell me.
NGP college la sir படிக்கிறேன். Doing second year of MHA, sir.
Good.
Sir, totally. As for me, I had nursing background, sir.
Good.
It was very useful, sir. Classes was.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the explanation, sir.
Thank you, Joel. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Any other questions you can ask? Career opportunities. தமிழ்ல கூட கேட்கலாம். Or you give feedback about the session. Question இல்லைன்னா feedback கூட சொல்லலாம். The session எப்படி இருந்துச்சு? How it was useful?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, class நல்லா இருந்துச்சு சார். புரியுற மாதிரி ஈஸியாக இருந்துச்சு சார். ரொம்ப தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Thank you. Just ask the questions related with how we have to improve the career. Actually, in 1998, when we completed the course, full of dark. We don't know. We didn't find any way to go. In that time, we fixed the path. At that time, we don't have any quality, we don't have any marketing, we don't have any. It's there, but we didn't explore. That is the problem. Nowadays, we people are showing all the ways to you. Rather than us, mobile phone is showing all the ways to you through internet.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. இப்போ
Yes,
நீங்க
ma'am.
இந்த கவர்மெண்ட் செக்டார்ல நம்ம பசங்க ஸ்கோப் இருக்கு அப்படின்னீங்களா, அது கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண முடியுமா சார்? எப்படி how they can go in government side, sir?
Actually, the central government, they are having the schemes, NRHM, that is National Rural Health Mission, National Urban Health Mission. In Madhuriyana, they are having the program like this. In Tamil Nadu, if you take, they are using the people, the human resource, what they are already having. But in Kerala, they are recruiting the MHA for all the people. That Kerala, they are recruiting MHA. In Tamil Nadu, they are not yet recruiting, but Tamil Nadu in middle, during the tenure of Madam Jayalalitha, they announced to recruit the people for security officer and administrative people. Security officer, administrative people through some Padmavati agencies, I hope. through some intermediator. For government hospital, they are recruiting people. But what happened? The project they didn't implement. After madam's dismissed, they didn't implement. What happened? I don't know. But in Kerala, government projects like central government projects, NRHM, these kind of things, we are having the opportunities. Unless we are having good salary also. In West Bengal also we are having the opportunities in government sector. In Maharashtra we are having the opportunities in government sector. Tamil Nadu we have to ask the government. We have to open the things. இதுதான் மேடம் இப்போ இங்க ஹெல்த் கேர்ல நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட்ல நடந்துட்டு இருக்கிற விஷயம்.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Information Prashant அப்படின்னு ஒரு one of the student from Dr. NGP. He is working in NRHM, the project, government project in Kerala. I hope I am the third batch student. Third batch student.
Okay, okay.
NGP or third batch student.
இதுக்கு ரிட்டன் எக்ஸாம் எதுவும் இருக்குதா சார்? ரிட்டன் எக்ஸாம் இல்ல.
இல்ல அதுக்கு வந்து அப்ப they had only interview.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, sir. Students, is there any other questions you can ask?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. My name is Agnes from final year MHA.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I am interested to do MPhil. So, in this present scenario, which branch in MPhil will be more useful, sir?
You are having hospital administration in Dr. NGP, na? MPhil hospital administration.
Yes, sir.
You can go for that because you are doing MHA. So you can go for MPhil hospital administration.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Now UGC has announced the central MHRD அதெல்லாம் இது உள்ள MPhil they are going to stop. Likewise, they have announced, no, sir, the recent.
Yeah, my advice is, madam, instead of going for MPhil directly, you can go for PhD. Because earlier MPhil they are having 1 year வந்து இல்லாம இருந்தது. PhD போனா 2 years முடிக்கலாம் MPhil வச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா. But now MPhil இருந்தாலும் இல்லாட்டாலும் you are having 3 years PhD. அதனால better you can go for PhD.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, students?
சினிமா பாட்டுல நிறைய கேப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்.
Ruby?
Yes.
சொல்லுங்க.
Good morning, sir. This is Rubini from second MHA, sir.
Yes, yes.
So the session was very useful. Everyone will get benefited through this, because we don't know, is there anything like this degree, like MHA? Earlier we don't know like this. I think upcoming batches will get benefited or get well aware of this.
Sure,
I had
sure.
doubt on, is there any government exams like written exams like UPSC or IAS, IFS, like that? Is there any exam related to our industry?
So far it is not there, ma. It will come. It will come. So far it is not there, but it will come. Very sure.
Thank you, sir.
See, people, students, நீங்க வந்து சினிமா பாட்டெல்லாம் கேட்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் பேசாதவங்களுக்காக. எனக்கு இந்த வரிகள் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். இந்த மாபெரும் சபைதனில் நீ நடந்தால் உனக்கு மாலைகள் விழ வேண்டும், ஒரு மாத்து குறையாத மன்னவன் என்று போற்றி புகழ வேண்டும் அப்படின்னு. இந்த வரி தான் என்னை வந்து மேல கொண்டு வந்த வரிகள் தமிழா இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு. அதனால வந்து எந்த மொழியில நம்ம கேட்கிறோன்றது முக்கியம் இல்லை. நீங்க சபை ஏறி கேளுங்க. அதுக்கு அடுத்து நம்ம ஆங்கிலத்தை வளர்த்துக்குவோம். ஆங்கிலம் வேணும், அதுக்கு அடுத்து நம்ம ஆங்கிலத்தை வளர்த்துக்குவோம். சபை ஏறுங்க, கேளுங்க, கேள்விகள் கேளுங்க. கேள்வி கேட்டாதான் ஞானம் பிறக்கும். Whenever you are asking question, at that time only you can improve your knowledge. Ask questions. தமிழ்லயோ ஆங்கிலத்திலயோ கேளுங்க. மாபெரும் சபையில நீங்க நடக்கணும், நடக்காம மாலை விழாது. நடங்க. நடப்பீங்க நம்புறேன். Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. It was very useful. Now I request Keertana to propose vote of thanks for your session, sir. Keertana, please take over.
Yes, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all. It is an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for the webinar to all the dignitaries assembled here. So now we are at the end of this webinar session. We really had a great time with Sir Professor Jaya Rajashekar T, Principal, College of Hospital Administration, Dr. Somavel Memorial CSI Medical College, for sharing your wonderful experience with us. And this session helped us to enlighten our ideas about how we can fly high in our future days after this course and attain a good position in our career. We are really thankful to Sir Professor Jaya Rajashekar T for spending your valuable time with us and for sharing these words for all those students who are present here. Your experience in this field and words out of that inspired us a lot. Once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would also like to thank our principal sir for supporting us to conduct this session today, and I also extend my sincere thanks to all the faculties of Department of Hospital Administration for conducting this useful session for us. Thank you, ma'am. Last but not the least, I thank all the students who came forward to participate in this webinar session. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Keertana. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, participants, for your patient listening, for joining this webinar. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.